Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fans of Skytear.
All right, you good?
I am good. Welcome. Thank you very much. My name is RG Commander, reporting here for duty. Joining me here is the man, the myth, the legend, the icon, the antagonist of the community, Game Slayer.
Please, go on. Keep going, please. I love it.
We are coming to join here again from across the ocean and a little bit northwest of Italy here. We are again finishing the conclusion of the Florence IRL qualifying finals. This game is going to be Fush versus, I'm told it's either Zambo or Bonne. I'm receiving different reports here, so one is the other. I'm also not certain who is on which side here. I'm hoping that I get a message from someone.
Well, if we recall correctly, Zambon was running the red list in the semi-finals, so I believe that is him on the left-hand side.
Okay. Well, meanwhile...
Because no one... Well, I would recognize those creeps anywhere. Do you not recognize those creeps? Those red creeps right there?
Oh, yes. Wait a minute. We have definitely seen those.
So we got Zambon on the left against whatever his name. Who's the guy?
Fuchsia, I think?
Fuchsia, there we go. Alright. And we have already picked some heroes to start off with. We've got Double Kill, we got Tactician, and we have a different lineup than we've seen before from Zambo. He has gone with the not Zeratul.
That's not even the right franchise!
Hogasai Sakoshi up against Ekret, Akudi, and Kanui. Your favorite combo right there, right? All of the Nuptons, all of the blue.
Disgusting. Alright.
But we have seen Yami before, and so this is interesting that he's bringing Zargul here right now, and I cannot say that name. Please. Zakol. There we go.
There we go.
Right.
Someone didn't do their vocal exercises before the stream.
Yes, so what's interesting there is that he's not bringing Yami. And he's got no other pillar user, so it'll be very interesting to see what he does there. As we've got, it looks like we've got Scourge, and we've got, what's that other outsider? Can you tell what that other outsider is?
It looks to me like a double Scourge, actually.
Double Scourge? Oh, that's interesting.
Also, quick update from Giacomo before we get too deep into this. It is actually not Zambo playing. It is going to be Bonne versus Fush.
Oh, Bonne. Okay.
Yes. And we do... Right. Go ahead. I was going to say, we're going to see some blood this game.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got two Scourges. Why do they pick Scourge? Do they pick Scourge because they think it's not going to be very effective and they can move out of the way? Mm-hmm. Or do they pick Scourge because they want to actually have a bloodbath? Because there's two sides to that, right? Like, yes. I personally like to bring the original outsider to Ashen Pass because I can kind of ignore him if I go to one side of the board. Mm-hmm. My opponent doesn't get that much of an advantage. Mm-hmm. But we got both Scourges, so you know.
You can't really dodge from both sides of the board and hope to win this game.
That is also a very fair point. With Scourge, so when you place Scourge, you place it on top of a hero, right?
Yes.
So whoever owns the first Scourge in Scourge Lane 2, he can place his Scourge on top of his hero to keep them out of the fight from the other Scourge.
Yes. Which is...
And same with the other one. Really.
Which is fascinating. Yes.
So that's actually Scourge is in some ways a way of protecting a hero. That might be an interesting way of doing things.
I like the idea of using the ultimate attacking outsider in a defensive manner.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely times where I think that could be helpful. As we see, Psychic Shield has already been mulliganed from Fuchsia. Which, you know, I mean, I'm expecting rampant hatred, to be fair. But, you might not want to hold on to it for that. But it's good to know that he's got Psychic Shields in that deck.
Yep. And he is sporting, we have 3 green-red heroes here. We've got, you know, and we do see Sakoshi online. Now, interestingly enough, the difference between Sunday... Actually, no, never mind. We did include those rules on Sunday. Never mind. One of the things to mention is the new rules are in effect for this, which means that heroes on the Reds team can mark people within 3, even if they don't have line of sight to them. And heroes that are of the talent of the green team can summon pillars within 3. Again, don't need line of sight to the target hex.
Ooh, Charm was discarded. Now, Charm is actually a really good card against Sakoshi because he can negate one of his attacks if he's not got line, if he's going through the dome. And it took him a very long time to decide to mulligan that. So he must have a very interesting hand set up here.
I'm interested to see what he's got. He's got 3 Nuptons. Akudi, obviously, we've talked about this kind of off the air Akudi, you think, is S tier on the Ashen Pass for her ability to summon the token and gain wave control. Kenwi is obnoxious as ever. Ekrit, similarly useful. Ekrit also very useful for being able to use the wind barrier to blast heroes out of control zones and, force the opponent's heroes maybe where they don't want to be.
Now, it's interesting to note that we don't have a proper kill condition. We don't have Onslaught or Tamer here. We have Double Kill and we have Tactician.
Yes.
That might give the Nupton player here a little bit of leeway. He might not die so quickly. We don't know what anyone brought as reserve, unfortunately. We only see the first 3 on the board. In fact, we only see one side's worth of health. Actually, no, we see Habarat in the back there. So Habarat is being brought for the Nupton hero.
Yes.
For the Nupton player. We don't see anything out of the red player here. And health points haven't been put on the board yet for Nupton, so technically they're all dead right now. So this should be just a win, game over, right?
That's correct.
Already?
I mean, hero annihilation.
No health.
Yeah. Hero annihilation, game over.
So Zakol runs in there, directly into the center. He can do a nice quick shot. He can do a nice punch. He could stone barricade. He's got a lot of options here, but he's sitting nice and pretty in the middle. Means that he is at risk of being hit by Ekrit.
Yes.
Ekrit could hit him and the creep behind him.
Correct. So we're going to see a worship action to summon the stone pillar, or not the stone pillar, but just a pillar down in the cover hex. Remember also another change that we did introduce, both illusions and pillar tokens now have 1 hit point and 0 armor, which means they can be targeted and destroyed.
Is that current rules, or is that next rule?
No, that's this rule.
Is it really?
I'm certain it's this rule, yep.
Alright, time to play some more Nightmare Incarnates.
Yes. Zap those pillars, zap those illusions, remove them from the field.
Alright, now, so... Has Zakol led yet? No, he's going for the attack, right. He's going for attack here. So that was interesting, because I was expecting him to just attack creep and then lead. It was a very central position.
Yep.
But he really valued getting that pillar down. So I'm thinking, what do you think? Maybe he has a Burning Rage, a Frenzy in his hand next turn?
Yeah, that seems very likely. Going for the double push. Meanwhile, we see Fush is kind of going to predict that already. He's summoning Kenwi's Illusion to protect her from being directly targeted by the attack. So if Zakol wants to shove Kenwi around, we're going to need to deal with that illusion first. So we'll see what Bonne's response is as we pass over to the second hero. Going to be one of the red heroes on deck now. Whether it's Hokusai or Sakoshi, what do you foresee coming first?
Well, he's put Kanui in the perfect place for Sakoshi to mark her.
Right.
Like, Sakoshi can just get the kill on the creep because of that. He can't quite get into the dome and then do it, but he could move one away from the dome, mark to kill a creep, and then attack or mark to kill a creep, and then like skirmish or something like that. Which is what I would expect to happen. I mean, that's too much good value right there from Sakoshi. Worth noting as well that during the draft phase, Zakol was picked early, I believe.
Yes.
And then Ekrit was picked into counter to the Zakol pushing. Because Ekrit also has an illusion which prevents the pushing.
Correct.
So it looks like Sakoshi's doing exactly what I said. He's going to do the mark. We see a sinkhole come down. So worth noting that sinkhole is being played.
Yes.
It is being played.
Oh.
It looks like he is skirmishing? Yeah, he's skirmished.
Yes.
And Strength over Pain also gone from the deck right now. You kind of want to see that early gone if you're not drawing it.
Correct.
Because that is going to be a very weak skirmish action. Sakoshi is now actually he's in a spot where Ekrit can't push him out, so that's good. But Hokusai is going to have a long walk to get over that side if he wants to lead inside that dome. But he can't really afford to lead and use the worship on his other two heroes right now.
Correct.
Akudi can't. Akudi and Ekrit can't. So Akudi is going to place the worship and then attack the Zakol because he is within range of that. And
that's not where you want to use a... Oh, no, that is... Excuse me, I'm sorry, that was on the Zakol. I thought she was targeting the minion for some reason. Yep, that's a good use of the ultimate there. Nice. All right, so that's going to drag Zakol down to 14 hit points.
And the minion is going to get attacked by the illusion as well. Now, worth noting that Kanui has led in this dome.
Yes.
In this dome, whereas...
in the lane.
Yes, sorry,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the lane, yes. Which means that if you don't lead with Hokusai here... Hey, he's finally realized he doesn't have any health.
Okay, no longer a game over.
If you don't lead with Hokusai here, you are going to lose some creeps to the lead action.
Correct.
And that is more valuable than an attack at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. But the question is then, are we... Okay, so we see Akuti going in there to contest the dome. Sakoshi didn't lead. Akuti didn't lead. So therefore, right now, that dome is a draw.
Mm-hmm.
And so now...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the question is now, depending on what we see here out of Bonne, Bonne is deciding, do I want to go into Dome 3, potentially with Hokusai, and force Ekrit to follow me, or do I want to try and go into Dome 2? And so then we can see, do we just double push in both the domes and, in fact, have 0 Scourges, which would make me very, very sad because the Scourge doesn't get enough appreciation. I love to see the Scourge.
The problem is, if you go in with Hokusai, you need to go deep in there because the Ekrit can just push you out.
Correct.
But if you do win that lane 3, you get that Scourge, and that Scourge is going to be effectively next to Akuti. So
yes.
It can do a lot of damage very quickly.
Okay.
Looks like Hokusai is going to take that spot, so that's what I was thinking. So if Hokusai goes into lane 2, Ekrit might have a fast, and she can go adjacent to Sakoshi and then shoot and kill both those 2 creeps, and that would be really unlucky for her.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, the lead effect is probably just going to kill the creeps anyway.
Right.
So you don't necessarily need to do that. Now, since that is in mind, Hokusai moving there might not be so effective because Ekrit can just...
Wind blast him right out. Yep. Unless he has,
move
like...
to that lane 3 and push him out. Sorry, move him to that dome 3, push him out, and then win that lane 3. That will be an extra... If Hokusai leads here, though, then that means Hokusai would be counteracting the lead in the lane, because they would get pushed into the lane, which would be an interesting position. That might mean that, for some weird reason, the Akuti Ekrit gets outpushed in the first round.
So here's a thought. What are the odds he's holding an amulet of immovability to prevent the push if Ekrit comes into the dome?
I mean, that is always a possibility, and that would be a very good use of it right now. If he's not leading, that's a pretty decent tell, honestly.
Because
that he might have that sort of thing. However, it's a very unplayed card, should I say?
Yeah.
It's an often underplayed card. No. Okay, you can make the sentence up in your mind. It's much better than what I'm thinking of right now. But that would draw him a card, and he might overdraw because I haven't seen any cards come out of him yet. He's still got 6 cards in hand, right?
Correct. Okay, we do see the lead. Okay, so.
Okay, so now you have the real tough choice.
Do you knock him? I mean, in this situation, you could also just send Ekrit. So here's the problem with the Scourge. The Scourge, as you mentioned earlier, actively replaces one hero. So yes, Ekrit could go over and win the Scourge, but then what? Like, she's nowhere near any of the heroes. I mean, I guess you could get to Zakol with using the I think it's...
Zakol's only on 14 health. I mean,
That's true. That's true. If you use Relentless Pursuit, you would get Ekrit to get fast for the next turn and be able to move next to Zakol, and then you could maybe Life Siphon or Reckless Swing, whatever that effect is called, Reckless Fury, I think.
As Ekrit, you can afford to do a skirmish and an attack against Zakol here. That could put him down to like 11 hit points. And then the Scourge has a decent chance of skirmishing in, like halving their health to do 6 damage to him. So he's on 5 health, and then trying to hit a +3 off of an attack. Like, that could just kill Zakol straight up from that.
Yep.
Alternatively, Ekrit could just move into the dome and lead.
Yes.
She could just move into the dome, she could counter the lead, have no Scourges come into play right now, and because the thing is, you are winning lane 1 right now. You're winning the lane right now, so if you just counter the dome lead, then you get that tactician point. Your opponent gets no tactician points, no Scourges in play. You're winning the lane. You've killed extra minions than him, but you then have Hokusai next to Ekrit and Akuti.
Correct. Now, one thing that could be the case is we might have an end of turn quick shot. Now, I think that with that lead, that would still mean that assuming Kenwei has a 3 mana, which is a fair bet since it was from the hand, that would only be a 4-3 lead if there's a quick shot. But if there's not a quick shot, then as you mentioned, both of those minions will end up dying here.
Yeah, and Zakol did move into the middle very, very heavily, so quick shot is a possibility.
Yes. So,
So a lot of thinking on this accurate play.
Yep.
Now, what else could you be thinking of? If he has fast, that's a very good reason why you'd be thinking of this. Alternatively, I mean, Ekrit could just shoot through Zakol and kill a minion.
Yes.
That's always a possibility, but I think the Scourge is just so much more valuable than that.
Absolutely.
Either denying it from your opponent or taking it for yourself. And
Yes.
I think, personally, if I was in his situation, I would try to deny the Scourge from the opponent, because Akuti is going to get hit a lot.
Yes.
Trading Akuti for Zakol, I mean, Akuti is probably more valuable than a Zakol.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Zakol has the higher health.
Uh-huh. Well, so here...
Maybe you just let Akuti die. Maybe you let Akuti die because you want Habarat to come in.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Yeah, Habarat coming in would be able to slice and dice Sakoshi really quickly. And so then you can quickly kind of even the playing field in terms of minions. I'm not sure who exactly Bonne's reserve is. I don't see them anywhere in the field, but we do see that Hokusai is back here hanging out in the corners, sporting the very lovely purple cloak and white pants of his little minions and friends.
Mm-hmm.
So...
the whole family's right there.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't for the fact they were trying to kill each other.
Minion, you've got to be thinking to yourself, it's a good thing Habarat's illusion isn't out, because he might think of killing me to move on.
That's very true. Sometimes, and if we read the flavor text of that spoiler card that comes out later, a little bit later in the show, a sacrifice that is for the good of all is no sacrifice at all.
Well,
according to
that
Skytear.
goes completely against my Habarat joke, and I think that's the real thing people need to be focusing on right here.
Oh, so it's just all about you, is it?
Absolutely.
That's fair.
I
would
want to hear about a spoiler which said good of the realm, not good of all.
That's true.
You know, and you know who said that quote?
Skytear?
Setharu.
Yeah. All right.
You know that guy? He's not been relevant since Psychic Shield was released, let's be honest.
Oof. Unlucky. All right, so we do see Ekrit moving in here, so now it comes down to, is there an Amulet of Immovability? Because this is going to cost all of Ekrit's actions to... Oh, no it's not.
She's not going to do that. She's going to do the play I suggested. Excuse me? We need to focus on me yet again.
Oh my god, here we go.
He's just going to push. He's just going to negate the Scourges and just play it safe. And there's the quick shot, as you said. So we've got to focus on you right now.
That's right.
That's completely correct. There was a...
Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's see here and take us. I think it's time we start taking assessment of the round here. So first off is the center lane here with control zone. Habra...
Right, there was no bluff.
No bluffs? Okay.
But that is a Habarat ult that had to get used for that.
Yes.
To be fair, Habarat's not in the play.
Yep.
In the play, but you know that your opponent's going to kill you eventually, and that ult will be helpful there to turn the tide.
Correct.
We see there's a push of 1, and
one
it's
tactician
worth noting
point.
that Zakol did put the pillar in a place where there was a real good chance it wouldn't be useful for his worship later, and that has happened.
Yes.
But he's ahead by 1 minion.
So
you know, your tower's in trouble technically, but you're ahead by a minion, so you're in a pretty decent spot. But here comes the 3 bewitches, right?
Right.
Just to ruin everything. Now, also worth noting is that he's put his minions in a line for Ekrit to kill. There's 2 ways of bad. She can do it either way. He's really been like, I need to not be next to that Akuti illusion. And that's really limited his spacing options.
Right.
He could have made a triangle going where the pink creep is, purple creep is, but he decided he would do this triangle instead, which lines up in 2 ways.
Yes.
For the Ekrit.
I mean, clearly the solution here is we just 100 to 0 Ekrit.
I mean, that's a very effective solution. Yeah, Habarat can do that.
All right. So we are ready to start round 2, it looks like. 1 point of Tactician has been won by Fush. And let's move into round number 2.
If we purely look at the board, say, he's winning by... The red player is winning by a creep, and the yellow player and the blue player is winning by damage right now.
Yes.
The opposite day right here. It's exactly the opposite of what you want to see. But turn 2 comes down. Now that flux for the red-green player here. That is an option. That is available. You could do a really good Rampant Hatred play with Habarat with Hokusai right now and just 100 to 0 Ekrit.
Yes.
We will see. Sakoshi looks like he's going first.
Yep. So Sakoshi is a green user, so we could see potentially rampant hatred from him as well, if he so chooses. And we see a card coming out. It is Doom. All right.
Doom. Interesting.
A proactive play. Nice.
Very proactive. What is he afraid of right now?
I would expect a presence or perhaps a disarm of some sort, maybe Snowblind, or Through the Eyes, perhaps. Some slow and disarming effects.
It's very, very risky, though, doing this preemptive Doom. Because if you hit something, your opponent can take that into account and use it as a plan.
Aha!
Time?
Okay, so we're going to just do this and time glitch our way out of this. Interesting.
Why? No, that was the Doom effect. He didn't play that card.
Oh, okay, that's just from the Doom. Okay.
Because there's no reason why you would ever do that.
Okay.
Why you'd ever use a Time Warp to protect a card on top of the deck.
Right, yeah, I was going to say.
But very rare.
Okay.
So, the question is, does he have a second Doom? Because if he has a second Doom and he can negate 2 of these 3 heroes from playing a card this turn, he could be sitting pretty well.
Yes.
And I would say that was a good play. But with just the 1 Doom, this is risky.
At best. All right. No, she moved. He did play that in response. Yeah. That was, in fact, the response.
And why would you move backwards? Wouldn't you want to move forward so you can shoot a minion that's the next turn?
Under Kenwi's illusion, yeah. Okay. Well,
why wouldn't you want to move on top of Kenwi's illusion there?
I don't know, especially because I know anytime I can put Kenwi's illusion under my foot, it's a good day.
I mean, it prevents you from being from Hokusai skirmished, right?
Right.
But...
Well, no, because Hokusai could skirmish on top of his pillar, or on top of Zakol's pillar. That's also a cover hex there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying that where Akudi is protects him from that play.
Oh, okay.
Move up instead.
Okay.
Okay, I think I know the reason.
Okay.
Why he might have done that time warp.
Please enlighten us.
I think it's because he wanted to be within range of his illusion.
Okay.
Because he's worried about taking a lot of damage from an attack of Sakoshi's.
That makes sense.
That said, Sakoshi can just mark the guy.
Yes.
He isn't yet in range of Hokusai. Hokusai requires line of sight.
Correct. Hokusai does.
1 armor against Sakoshi's attack.
Yep. So, but nevertheless, we could still do some damage. Akudi isn't exactly the most durable hero. She does only have 16 hit points, and as you mentioned, because she is now projected within range there, she does have the +1 armor. She's also now projected into Kenwi's illusion as well, which means that if Sakoshi attacks her, she then could potentially warp back into the dome if she so chooses, after the damage has been dealt.
This also protects Akudi from the Hokusai skirmish play that we was just talking about.
Yes. So we see a lot of pointing going on, and I have no idea what's happening, but I assume that they're admiring the paint job. Be like, that is a great Sakol paint job. Like, the detail of these miniatures is fantastic. How did you get that done? Instead of, playing the game. But see, so whenever I painted Ekrit like this, and then it came and turned out just like the Akudi there, right there. Okay, back to the game now. Akudi has been marked, which means Sakoshi does have vision. We see the double flip for the attack, so that's going to be 5 damage. -1 armor, 4 damage total, so that's going to bring her down to 12.
Now, the question is this going to be a lead?
Okay.
Moves.
Yep.
Okay.
There's the Kenwi effect.
Still within range of a creep.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I guess the reason why you might want to move completely backwards is because then Sakoshi wasn't in range of this marking Sakoshi play.
Correct.
But it feels like too defensive, because you want to be within range of this creep so Akudi can immediately activate and shoot some minions. Because remember, Akudi can move the illusion. Doesn't have to just place it within 3, can move it. So you can move it towards the creep.
Alright, Sakoshi's going on the hunt here. So it looks like...
an interesting play to skirmish, because he could have skirmished, moved forward 1, and moved back into the cover hex.
He could have.
And then he would have been safe from the Ekrit.
Yes.
As it stands, he's lining up Ekrit for this beautiful shot. She's gonna shoot and hit 3 people.
Yeah, that positioning is a little bit questionable.
But I guess his thought process there is that Akudi's already showing.
Oh,
okay, he's not.
We're not doing that. Okay, we're doing the better. We're doing the better.
Yeah.
Plus 3 on the flip. So 2 damage to...
He's hitting Ekrit. He's
Oh,
going for Akudi.
okay.
He's hitting Ekrit here.
And Nettie's moving out. Okay, interesting.
Ignore what we said before.
Oh, and we come down to the strength over pain. Excellent.
That explains that.
All right, so now now Akudi is going to get targeted again with the next attack here.
Mm-hmm.
And we see plus 3 on the flip. 6 damage, minus 1 armor. That's going to deal 5 more damage. So Akudi is now down to 7 hit points. Will she use the Kenwi effect to move again?
So that would be why you wouldn't. That would be a reason why you wouldn't want to move. You wouldn't want to skirmish against Akudi is because you wanted to stay within range for that shot.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I feel like Sakoshi standing on the pillar spot might have been more effective. But then again,
Correct.
within range of Inui there.
Yep.
So, this is very much a game of movement here. Nupted is trying not to move. They're trying to use the movement action as little as possible right now.
Yes.
Now, if Akudi moves, she could move to her right and up, so that she's still within range of a creep shot, and can then move into Dome 2 at the end of this turn.
Yes.
But maybe he's thinking to himself, if we just keep negating Dome 3, Dome 2 is completely worthless if the side goes for it, and I can just slowly push up here. But this has been quite a bit of damage that the Akudi's taken this first round.
Yeah.
This first turn of the second round.
Yep.
First activation of the second round.
And if he has the third strength over pain, we did see a second one flipped earlier as a result of one of the plays, but if he has that third one and uses it on Zakol, it is possible that Akudi gets KO'd this round.
Well, less so because of the... well, it still could be possible. Less so because of the Kanui illusion. Zakol is melee. He's got to hit someone and then move forwards to be able to hit them again.
Skirmish forward onto Kenwi for the damage, punch Akudi in the face, and then chase her if she tries to run.
Yeah, you'd have to use up your skirmish and your movement.
It's not elegant, but it can be done.
It can be done, and it can get that kill.
Yes. All right.
Or this is making you think: do you activate Akudi right now? Because if he goes and kills Akudi, then Habarat comes in and he's fully ready.
Yes.
Like, I would be very tempted to go with Ekrit here instead. Leave the Akudi low and have Ekrit shoot and hit Sakoshi and those 2 minions.
All right. Well, let's see. It looks like we are activating Akudi. All right, so we're worshipping, it looks like, as the illusion is being moved over here. Interesting. All right, we're going to...
attack that minion behind the call.
Yep.
Attack that minion next to the call.
Delete that minion. Delete that minion there. Presence, very nice.
Another possibility there was to try and hit the far back creep and then attack Zakol himself, or Sakoshi. Sakoshi probably, because Sakoshi is lower health at this point. And then you could have still had Ekrit do the lineup attack. And that would have been 2 attacks against Sakoshi, which might have brought him pretty low.
Yeah.
But instead, he's going to just kill the minions, clear it out, play safe. I guess this is what this would be called, a safe play.
And a lead from the deck.
As well.
Yep.
He's like, hey, I guess he wanted to remove the mark.
Yes.
Well. And now he's going, hey, if you're going to want to try and kill me because I've just led.
Yes. And Akudi did use... So interestingly enough, Akudi did use her mana up already, so any kind of response could... Which, to be fair, Kenwi is also a yellow-blue, so anything that Akudi can play, Kenwi can also play. We have no idea what's in these players' decks, but I would not be surprised with this composition if there was a Nourish, perhaps, or something that might save Akudi. So, you kind of offer the tasty meat and then be like, oh, surprise, you can't actually kill me.
Maybe even Shelter. Shelter's really good in Ashen Pass, I think.
There's a card that we haven't seen.
If you're not caring about your modifiers.
Right.
Get that extra hit point or 2 in compared to the Nourish. So he's got a hard choice. Now, do you activate Hokusai here and try and go for the kill? Hokusai is going to have a real hard time getting into range of Akudi. Yeah?
Correct.
Because of that Kanui illusion.
Yes.
You don't necessarily want to activate Zakol immediately because you want to save Zakol perhaps for the pushing potential.
Right.
But then what do you do with the Hokusai? Hokusai's kind of just stuck here for now.
You can't move through Sakoshi, which means you can't get to the Akudi with a move action. You would have to move and skirmish to get in range. You could potentially worship on her, but then she's going to run away. Yeah, Hokusai's options with this setup, Hokusai's options seem to be a bit limited at the moment.
He could always just go backwards, kill a creep, and lead in a very safe spot where Ekrit can't push him out.
That's true.
And then Zakol is completely free to go running around somewhere else.
Yes.
Akudi is a little close to that Dome 2. There is a possibility for the Scourge to just kill Akudi.
Yes.
From the Dome 2.
Yes.
But if you give up Dome 3 as then Sakoshi might just die.
Yes. Yeah, if Bonne loses Dome 3, then Fush just replaces with one of his yellow heroes, runs the Scourge in, chop, 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 Sakoshi is gone. So it looks like he's debating between the two. I wonder if we're going to see a...
It's surprising how much double Scourge favors the second player, it feels like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I rarely get to see one Scourge, let alone two, so this is a very special treat that I quite enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Like, if there's two Scourges, you've got a very... They're playing around it. They're playing around one of them, so one of them is irrelevant, and the second one is just... It's a razor's... it's a razor wire right here.
Yes.
It's really, really, really difficult for the player one to actually win the Scourge.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we see Hokusai activating. So Hokusai, I wonder if he worships onto Kenwei here, or what is he moving? Is he moving, it looks like? I saw him pointing over in Kenwei and Akudi's general direction, but now he's picking the model up, so it looks like we're going to move? Maybe?
Could be a skirmish.
All right. So it looks like, looks like a skirmish.
You are in danger of having Ekrit push.
So it looks like he's going to move, skirmish against Ekrit, dealing 2 damage, -1 armor, and then finishes on top of the pillar. So it looks like we are going to make an attempt to assassinate Akudi. Whether it's going to require both Hokusai and Zakol's activations or not, we'll see. Unless he just burns the attack now to kill the illusion. Although Kenwei still has yet to activate, so she could just respawn it on her turn.
I mean, you could kill the Akudi illusion instead.
That's true.
But you might as well. You kind of might as well just. It feels like you might as well have just worship as Hokusai in that case, because you are reducing the armor by 1 with that.
If only this was turn 3 and he could just supernova and catch both illusions and all 3 of those heroes. That would be so good. Okay, it is going to be the worst. Nope, there's the supernova. Well, we're not seeing that next turn. Technically, it was done. Okay, so does Akudi choose to move? She can't be targeted by Hokusai. With an attack action, obviously, there's 2 spaces away. Hokusai has already used 2 actions in the skirmish and the worship, so it's not like, unless he's, no, he can't actually move him adjacent, so Hokusai can't hope to deal any more damage to Akudi this turn, unless there's...
Yeah, I mean, Akudi doesn't want to walk towards the coal, so I think you might as well stay there.
Mm-hmm.
There really isn't much difference. You're going to get pushed out if you're not careful.
Yes.
I think you're probably just going to get pushed out either way. I'm not sure there's much way of surviving that, but there is the potential that Akudi could move towards the Kenwei illusion, then get hit twice by the Zakol and somehow not die, and then she'd be inside Dome 3.
That is true.
That is a possibility.
Yeah, that's going to require
if
some...
goes for this Akudi kill, he's not killing creeps, and that might prove to be a problem. Ekrit might just come forward, kill that creep, and then lead.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be some serious tower damage dealt to the towers.
Yeah. There are only 5 hit points there, and with the token in range now, Fush can potentially just say, you know what, we're gonna cut through the chase here, and I'm just gonna blow up your Nexus. All right, so Hokusai is gonna lead to reinforce.
Hokusai leads from the deck. All right, that's fine. So we're not seeing a Rampant Hatred play.
Mm-hmm.
So sad.
Well, not yet. Zakol still has to go.
Not yet. That's a very good point. Not yet.
Because if you notice...
Hokusai leading from the deck. Now, Ekrit can push him.
Right.
into the dome, and then she could push him and Sakoshi into the dome.
Yes.
And that would deny the Rampant Hatred play.
It would, yeah, because Zakol wouldn't want to play Rampant Hatred only gaining +1. Right now, he does gain a +3 from the Rampant Hatred card, which would be very effective. So...
It would be your move, attack, and worship. So,
Correct.
That's not the most economical of things.
But, on the other hand, it does pretty much guarantee that your Akuti stays alive, because with a bonus skirmish action, Zakol can just chase Akuti down and pummel her until she dies.
Well, it doesn't guarantee it the slightest. Zakol can still just punch her.
Okay, well, we have a flip on there. It is...
0. It's a
0. Yeah, it's a refract, yep.
So, Ekrit went for the skirmish rather than the move, because she didn't want to get pushed into the dome.
Right.
Back into the dome by Zakol, potentially. But this does mean Ekrit is no longer providing leadership to anywhere.
Yes. She is outside range. She is range 4 from the token. And obviously, as we can see, both domes are deserted.
Yeah, I'm somewhat surprised by this, because I would have expected him to move over to shoot the creep. But instead he's going backwards, and he's putting the illusion in a very defensive spot. This says to me that he's got some healing for Akuti. And he doesn't want Akuti to get pushed off. That said, I don't know why you wouldn't have moved Ekaba towards the creep and then kill the creep and then do this play.
Right.
Because the illusion was on top of Ekrit's tile before. The illusion could have just moved 3 and gotten to that space anyway.
Right.
Or it could have, moved over to next to the Akuti illusion, and then you would have protected both Ekrit and Akuti from being pushed. Ekrit's going to move now.
Okay. So this will be her...
You're thinking maybe if he took the cover hex next to him, a time warp would move him into the dome at the end of the round, but he's going to just move there, still not providing any lead power to either side.
I'll bet he has a time warp that he plays at the end of the turn. Or something too. Okay, maybe not if he's moving. If he moves in the very back line there, then I think he probably has a time warp that he can use to switch Ekrit into range.
There, I have no idea what he's got.
That looks like you might want to time warp up 1 square at the end of the turn, just so that you can influence control zone 1 while making it a little bit harder.
Waste of a time warp compared to just moving there whilst you've got your move action, though.
Fair. I mean, he did also use the time warp to... Well, no, we saw why he used the time warp on the Akuti, so...
Like, if you've got a time warp, then you have no fear of getting pushed out by Zakol, after all, because he just
Right.
attacks you and then you move away.
Right.
Time warp. So, I don't actually see any value in Ekrit moving that far back.
No?
Other than the fact that she's out of range of Sakoshi.
Right.
But,
yeah, because she's still within range 3 of Zakol, although... That doesn't really provide too much relevance. Well, it would provide relevance in that if next turn, if someone decides to mark her, being in range 3 there would enable the armor from Akuti's illusion to be negated. Assuming that Akuti's even alive next round, which is looking doubtful without having a Nourish card in hand.
It's not even like you're really repositioning for the loss of the lane, because you're still kind of winning the lane.
Right.
But now, I mean, Akuti dies, then you're no longer winning it. But
right, because where Habarat will spawn, there is no influence on Control Zone 1.
Yeah, and in fact, Ekrit moving there just makes a perfect target for the Scourge. If Zakol moves forward, Zakol skirmishes forward but doesn't attack Akuti with it, attacks Akuti and gets a kill, he can then move into Dome 2, get the Scourge. Scourge spawns basically next to Ekrit. That could hurt.
Yeah, that is big.
That said, Scourge is pretty ineffective when you've got a Canoe illusion around.
Yes.
Kanui's illusion does work during the Scourge's turn.
Correct.
So really, the Scourge can't... Well, the Scourge could move and be adjacent to both Habarat and Ekrit, then it could hit Habarat once and Ekrit once, but it can't really hit someone twice because the Scourge is melee.
Correct.
I think that would probably be the main reason why you would bring Scourge in this deck, is if Kanui is your core, and Kanui really negates a lot of Scourge power.
Correct. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was playing a game earlier today with my friend over lunch, and I gave him a deck as I'm kind of still teaching him the game, and he had Kenui, and he positioned her in a place, And I enjoyed very much running her down from 14 to 0 with 1 Scourge activation. It was great.
Of course, you would enjoy something as monstrous as that.
It was wonderful. I blew up her illusion before the end of the round, so that way she couldn't run away like a coward. And then I just used the Soul Siphon, the Reckless Fury, and attack. Bang, bang, bang. Down she went. And then Yami came back after being depossessed to step on Kenwi's dead corpse.
Wow, just so the added. Ugh. You know, does Yami wear heels?
That is a great question. Someone check up on that for us. Does Yami have heels?
Yeah, is this like a I will pierce the body, or is this a like I'll stomp on the body, you know?
Right. Asking the real question while they do some maths, it looks like. We're going to ask...
It's real important that you got to ask these sort of questions, because there's nothing happening on the board.
Hey, we got to fill the downtime with something. Let's see. Well, let's pull these cards up. All of the pictures of Yami just have her giant cloak, so I actually don't know what her footwear of choice is.
He's not taking the kill. He's moving back.
Okay.
As his first action. He isn't even hitting the creep next to him.
So he has to be moving, leading, and worshipping? Ooh! Oh, no, wait. If he skirmishes here, and he's holding a stone barricade, then Kenwi cannot get into Control Zone 3. Which guarantees that he spawns the Scourge. But that doesn't work if you move there, because then Kenwi jumps in over there, so that plan apparently is not what's happening.
Hokusai was already stood there, though. Right, Hokusai could cast the Stone Barricade instead.
He could have, but I think he was using Hokusai to bring Akuti down.
So he skirmished to move forward 1, and now he's leading. I don't see the value in that move.
No.
That final move.
Why would you...
He spent an entire action point to move forward 1. There's got to be some value to it.
Right. Like, if you moved...
Especially since you could have skirmished, hit Kanui, and then moved back. And then you could have done this entire play. Like,
yeah.
You just missed out on a flip against Kanui right there.
Yeah. And again, and on this situation, she can still get into the dome because Stone Barricade can only be played adjacent to you, which means you can only block off the hex that's in between the Kenwi illusion and Control Zone number 3 token.
He really didn't want Kanui to move. He's got something lined up.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have Supernova lined up because we just saw that. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we seen Shurikenstorm?
If Sakoshi just moves 2 hexes, then we have a perfect lineup of heroes.
Do we? Yeah, right, we do actually. Yeah, everyone forms up in a line. Did we see Shurikenstorm yet? On the flips? I don't think we saw Shurikenstorm. Could that be coming up?
Oh, Shurikenstorm. I heard Strickenstorm. I'm like, okay,
Shurikenstorm. New ultimate, Strickenstorm.
Oh, have we?
I can't remember.
We might have.
I think we've seen
Hokusai's.
We've seen Hokusai's. We've seen Zakol's, yes. If we haven't seen... Akuti is already marked, which means you mark somebody else, you attack the third hero that you didn't mark, and bang, 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 you hit all 3 of them.
Oh, that would be so beautiful.
That would be awesome. So maybe that's the plan? I can't think of what else.
Can't be targeted by attack actions,
but
Yoshi's attack wouldn't target her.
Right, you don't target her with the attack. You make it so that she's one of the... Oh, so that's what you do. You mark Kenwi so that she suffers the damage on the byproduct of the ability.
Yeah.
Because according to the ultimate here, Sakoshi's attack actions hit all enemy minions and all marked enemy heroes in line of sight in addition to their original target.
I've always wondered that. If Sakoshi's original target gets whiffed, what happens?
I assume that I assume that you still let the rest of it fly, because it says his attack actions hit all enemy heroes and minions in addition to their original target. So
Kanui moves forward. She's gonna skirmish a 0.
Okay.
Like.
But what? I'm so confused. So here's the problem now. If Kenwi, well, Akuti led, so this would be negated by this unless you just want to kind of like double up on it. If Kenwi deletes that minion, then this game is just over.
It's not.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. I can't do math. That's right. I thought. Never mind. I apologize. Yeah, I am not counting that correctly at all. Okay. So now Kenwi comes into the dome. So, right.
So he's just really worried about this Scourge.
Yes.
Which doesn't make so much sense to me, because you could have gone
Oh,
to the dome instead
hey.
and killed a Cootie whilst he was at it. But there's the presence.
That's what we want to see. It is time to see blood. Fush is going to summon a Scourge.
Alright, so...
That's what we wanted to see.
You're winning this lane. You're winning this dome. You've got your Scourge. You can hit some Zakol very hard.
No, we kill Sakoshi.
Kill Sakoshi?
Yeah, gun down Sakoshi right there.
The thing is, though, you're right next to Zakol. You can definitely kill Zakol. You can't definitely kill Sakoshi.
That's true, actually. Yeah, Kenway's at full HP, so she can sacrifice a little bit of her HP for the Soul Siphon, so that would deal 7 damage to each of them.
Time warp to move forwards with the accurate.
Yep, there was the time warp.
You called it.
I did.
Still don't understand the logic behind it.
Hey, listen, man, I'm just reading the board. I think the idea was to keep Ekrit in the back for some reason, for some sort of an effect. But now that that's over, we're going to... Okay, so we do flip the Dragon Punch. So, what did she lead with? Okay, so 3.
Did yeah. 3. That was pretty lucky for him, and it was pretty lucky for Akudi as well.
Well...
Led from the deck.
Yeah. Alright,
Both sides led from the deck, so it's only a victory of 1.
Yep.
That could have been very scary if one person got a 1 there, or a 0. We know Psychic Shields are in the deck.
Correct. So the token does advance again. The minion will absorb any potential attacks against the tower, so no tower damage just yet. But that minion army, the purple army there, is starting to build up. If Fush does manage to make... Okay, so Kenway is going to use her ultimate there to guarantee control. So it is time for the Scourge. Let's go. So, Scourge of Puido.
Could have been pretty effective there, but yeah, alright, so...
Yeah, get the painted one. Don't put the gray one on the field. Come on, man. There we go. Alright, so Scourge of Puido replaces the active hero within the dome, and then activates, at the end of the activation, the possessed hero, which is in this case Kenway, will be positioned anywhere adjacent to wherever the Scourge ends up. So, let's see what happens. Does the Scourge proceed to gun down Zakol? Oh, also, as a side note, there are 3 points now in Tactician, but who cares, because it's time for blood!
So, Kanui has the most health, so she can afford to take
Yes.
half of Zakol's health.
And we're going for Sakoshi.
Going for Sakoshi.
Yep.
You are calling this, man.
Heck yeah! Alright, so 1 damage. So now, Soul Siphon on Sakoshi will deal 6 damage to each of them, which, as you mentioned, Kenway can take, because that would put Kenway to what Sakoshi is currently at. And then, after that, you go for the attack, 3 plus a double flip, and try to hit that +3, and just gun down Sakoshi.
It doesn't feel good to me, man. None of this feels good. You could definitely have killed Zakol here.
Yes, you could have. With the Soul Siphon, Reckless Swing, or whatever it's called, Reckless Fury, and an attack, that would almost certainly guarantee Zakol dies. But, we're going to get rid of Sakoshi.
Yeah, Kanui would have taken quite a bit of damage for it, I guess.
That is true.
And maybe part of it is that he also wants Kanui to start outside of the dome.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the one big advantage of the Scourge, is that
yes.
you end up where the Scourge was.
Well, you end up adjacent to it, right? So Kenway can... Yeah.
So you can end up adjacent to that creep right there and start the round with Link and Bewitch. Or something.
Yes. Alright, we're grabbing something?
Yep, halving the health.
Halving the health, there we go. So she goes down to 6. Sakoshi goes to... Or, I'm sorry, she goes down 6 to 12. Sakoshi goes down to 6. And
we don't hit a +3.
Unfortunate. Alright, so Sakoshi is... he's bleeding out here, but still alive. Which means that we will likely see him... Oh, goodness, I hope he's got a Shuriken Storm. Because if he does, that's going to be amazing.
That, if you have something like a Shuriken Storm... Well, Shuriken Storm... But if you have something like Rampant Hatred, it might be worth keeping Akudi alive, because Double Kill is on the field.
That's true.
Kanui is now only on 12 hit points.
Yes.
Ekrit is on 13.
Mm-hmm.
But they both do have that additional armor from Akudi.
Correct.
Akudi is making those 2 characters quite tanky.
So, interestingly enough, although obviously this wouldn't affect the actual attack itself since everything happens simultaneously, but the Shuriken Storm would also then, if Sakoshi moves to where the control zone was originally, marks either Kenway or Ekrit, Sakoshi can target literally everything. 3 illusions, 3 heroes, and 4 minions.
If only you could mark the illusions as well. They would all be in range. Everything would be in range.
Right. You can target literally anything you want. So in that situation, obviously you have to choose between damaging 3 heroes and the minions and leaving the illusions alone, or do you pick off an illusion and hit 2 of the heroes that you marked? Like, Akuti is going to get damaged pretty much regardless if this were to go off. But then you just kind of have to decide what do you go after. So let's see. We're on round 3 here. Sakoshi is going to activate. That makes sense.
Sakoshi's activating immediately. All
right.
He's not worried about Sakoshi's death because the option was to have Sakoshi die and bring in another hero.
Correct. Which we actually still don't know who that is. Flipping.
Marking Kanui, killing the minion.
Okay. So probably doesn't have Shuriken Storm. Otherwise,
right, otherwise you'd play this quite.
The reasoning being, actually, now that I think about it, if we mark Kenui, then we just attack Ekrit, and then all 3 of them get hit. But, he's got cards in his hand. Do it. Show us that Shuriken Storm.
Skirmish and hit in skirmish against Kanui.
Yes.
Yeah. Who has 1 less armor because of the because thanks to Hokusai, Lifesteal is coming out. Okay, that's how you keep Sakoshi alive.
Okay, this could be good.
He's going to attack Kanui, so he's going for this. He's going to threaten this double kill.
Okay.
Because I mean, the Scourge we could have gotten a double kill.
Oh, absolutely. Scourge is beautiful for getting double kills. Reckless Fury and the attack both do 3+ a flip, and as we've seen, this deck has a fairly high number of modifiers in it, so there are a couple zeros with the Dragon Punch and whatnot, but getting a 4 or 5 flip there, not entirely out of the question. So, it looks like there may be a response from Fush at this point. Perhaps he's pulling up one of his cards, maybe? Thinking about it? Maybe not. Okay. Oh, okay.
What was this in declaration of?
I assume either it's a reaction to the lifesteal coming down. Oh, and we have...
Okay, so that negates the shove, but
okay.
My thought is, who did he declare the attack against? If he declared the attack against Kanui, the shove doesn't matter because Sakoshi can see her through the mark.
Correct. So it had to have been either Akuti or Ekrit, and my guess is Akuti. I think we were probably going for the kill there.
Okay.
Because that would put him out of range of those 2.
Yes.
All right. So,
what does he do in response to this double shoving nonsense going on here?
I mean, in an ideal, we could all talk peacefully about our problems and resolve them cordially, but instead we've devolved into this shoving match and brawl. This is not what the Skytear community is about.
What's worth noting is that his turn 3, he could have fluxed in that slide by Sakoshi himself, and that would have left Hokusai that 3 mana for a 3 mana card. The fact that he didn't do that, to me, implies he has some more 2s.
Yes.
Or he just doesn't have another 3 other than maybe Zakol's.
Right. Which, to be fair, yeah, he might be saving Zakol to do the Rampant Hatred, which I don't know why you would do that, given the positioning.
He might just be saving something like a Rampant Hatred just for later on in the turn.
Correct.
Maybe you need to lead with it instead.
Right, that might be the option to wait a little bit.
Sakoshi could have done some serious damage with the Rampant Hatred.
Oh, yes, he could have. Oh, God, and now we have a chasm! All right, so let's go. Do we have one more response to pile onto this chain here?
Yeah, so the chasm there is going to push Sakoshi and Hokusai, assuming that he's declared the attack on Akuti, which was almost certain, was certainly a mistake in general because because he needed that lifesteal point,
yes,
lifesteal healing. And you know that that your opponent's going to be running chasms in this lineup. So he's gonna choose the Hokusai Hex, which makes sense.
Yep. So we're gonna slide Sakoshi right into the dome, negating that attack because he's now out of range.
But he could have chosen the Akuti's Illusion Hex instead, and then pushed his own Kanui towards the minions.
Right.
But you probably want to stay within the range of your illusion, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we do push those 2 there.
not pushing Zakol, which is okay. Oh, it's pushing Zakol.
Yep.
Okay. Might as well push him one step further away from the minions. He can't move. He can't walk over to a minion and kill it anymore. Time glitch to remove the mark. Okay, so this must have been a declaration on Kanui.
Yeah.
And the whole reason why this entire shove chain happened is because both sides fully expected there to be a cleansing effect.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the time warp will go off
that's
here.
The reason why you don't let that shove resolve as the Sakoshi player is because you fully expect there to be a cleansing effect.
Yes.
And of course there's going to be a cleansing effect because why else would you do the shove?
Exactly. All right. So with that being said,
that Sakoshi attack whiff.
Yep.
And that was a lifesteal attack, so that's gonna hurt.
Yes. So Sakoshi now has 2 HP, and he's not in a good position.
Activated.
Yeah, and he's activated, which means our mystery 4th player here for Bonne will come in exhausted because Fush does not seem like the kind of man to allow someone to live with 2 HP whenever you can send in any one of your heroes and pop them with a single attack.
So this is where you skirmish.
Into the cover hex?
Hit a Kuti, and then play Strength over Pain to kill yourself.
Ah, yes, because then the activation would not finish, resulting in you not being exhausted, resulting in whoever you've got coming in being able to activate this turn.
That'd be a really cool play, but you need a second Strength over Pain to make that work.
Well,
and he's had some really good chances to play Strength over Pain so far this game. So
yes.
Probably he doesn't have one.
We've seen 2, and it doesn't look like they flipped over the deck yet, but he is going to skirmish back into range of a Kuti. Interesting.
I mean, you kind of want you're getting some healing off of this.
That is true. No! There it is. Ah, that's unfortunate. That is not what we wanted to see there.
Well, there we go. So Sakoshi's activation was, I mean, it got rid of a lot of mana.
Yes.
On the board.
Eckert is now the only one who can cast.
You're not happy with it. It feels like a waste.
Yeah, because Sakoshi now dies. Almost certainly, unless... Are we going to set up a double kill? Nah, Hokusai and Zakol are both too healthy. Double kill might be...
I mean, you still could set it up for later. You could just leave him alive the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Ekrit can have just a really nice snipe against him if she wants.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What will happen here? And yeah, so we still do have that Zakol. We need to see something out of Zakol, like maybe a totemic slam for some massive damage. That would be wonderful.
Well, we've seen it already.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We have seen it. We haven't flipped the deck. So.
All right, so we've got to move from a Kuti. So
okay.
This guy is not interested. This guy, he's fully willing. Okay, he's running.
That makes sense.
Right. That makes sense, but maybe you just should have left a Kuti there for a while because then you could have brought in Habarat, who's at full health, but full health beater. But all right, and then lead from the deck. From the deck. All right, so that's Akuti's play. Akuti is no longer within range of her own illusion there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Akuti no longer has armor, and let's see. If we send Hokusai over with a move action,
yeah.
You worship
Hokusai
on her.
Can get it. He can just mark Akuti and probably get the kill.
Yep, +2 on the flip would kill her, although it looks like we're... no, we have a couple more cards, I think, before we do a deck flip for Bonne.
Yeah, like a +2 kills here, but you've got to be very careful here because if you don't get that kill, you go for the skirmish to get that kill. If you go for the skirmish to get that kill, your opponent's going to kill the 2 creeps and lead and just do some real damage to this tower.
Well, we're going for the kill. Also, sir, you said we need to be careful on a map where they both brought the Scourge of Puido.
Yeah.
Literally the hero you bring when care is the last priority on your list. Alright, so we're going to go for the Scourge action here, trying to deal damage there, +1 damage. That'll bring her down to 2. Or just kill her? Apparently we missed something.
You play Granite Skin.
Oh, I missed the Granite Skin. Yes, there we go. Okay, so yeah. Granite Skin would give the +2 skirmish.
So he
Dead.
had 3 damage guaranteed. He
Yep.
just needs to not hit a -1, which he wasn't going to hit because the Strength over Pain is gone, and I assume the other slide is either gone or is in his hand.
Yes.
At
All
this
right.
point.
Now, Kuti did activate,
Hokusai's in a
so...
great spot to just lead.
Yep, Habrat comes in and does absolutely nothing. So...
Lead from the deck.
Lead from the deck.
Refilled the hand. He's got 4 cards in hand. He was running out of cards.
Yes. Alright, so now the only thing that does mean is that Habrat could potentially play some cards, although, again, given his position relative to the board, I don't know what you would play. That would be useful here.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so Zakol starts walking forwards, right?
Okay.
He walks into range of Habarat, and Habarat then when he declares a skirmish, Habarat responds with Shadow of Death, and then that teleports Habarat into the battle.
I can only hope that doesn't come to pass.
Alright, so... I mean, Hokusai's in a position where Ekrit can hit him and the creep behind. Which could prove some value. Ekrit hasn't used up any mana yet. Ekrit
Correct.
can still potentially shove him out and into the dome. And if that's the case, he's definitely activating Kanui first. I feel like you're just activating Kanui first anyway. Kanui probably just wants to move 1 square to the left here, attack a minion, and then place an illusion to cover both Ekrit and Kanui.
Right. I mean, really, depending on where you place it, actually, yeah, if you place it where the control zone starts originally, you can cover all 3 heroes and guarantee that Kenwei can't be targeted by attacks.
You know, I just had a thought. The whole reason why that entire shove slide play happened was because of that very weird decision to move the Ekrit illusion to all the way back there. Because if Ekrit's illusion was further forwards, then there was no shoving that could have taken place.
You're right. Oh, we've got a swiftness.
Swiftness.
Okay.
That's the word. Yes. So Swift has come down and can go and snipe that Sakoshi and be in that cover hex.
Yep. And
there's a Cole.
That's
Cole can't push around.
And that's what it looks like we might be doing here. Zoom into the zone here. No, we're not.
We're moving 3.
With a fast.
4, please 4. Okay.
Okay.
4 allows you to kill both minions.
Yes. Okay. So summon your illusion.
That's valuable.
Yeah. Summon the illusion.
Kill Sakoshi with.
Where is my illusion? All right. So that's going to be 2 minions down. So this is actually extremely valuable here.
Its presence. All right. Dead. So no, that presence is gone now. So we've seen all 3 presences. So
Correct.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yep. Now, I think if you just lead here...
We still haven't seen that 4th hero's ultimate. God damn it.
We don't know who it is!
Oh! Who it is.
Someone kills Sakoshi.
Turn with, oh yeah, I'd ended the
yeah.
Yeah.
So if Kenwei leads here, then the tower... let's see, you've got... Oh no, Earthquake! Everyone underneath the table, hands over your heads!
So Zakol has led from the deck.
Yes.
Sorry, Hokusai has led from the deck.
Yes.
That is bad, because if Hokusai has led from the deck, and he does not hit a 3 here, Kanui hits a 3 here, it's game over.
Yes.
So you kind of have to bring Zakol in here, but Zakol can be brought in anyway, because Sakoshi is inside the dome right now.
Right, and there's...
It doesn't mean you're not leading in that dome.
But that's okay, right? Because there's no way for anyone to get in the dome. The heroes have burned through their mana, so you can't, like, double time warp in.
Yeah.
So Sakoshi can win the dome, so send Zakol into lane 1 to defend it.
Yeah, I mean, he just has to skirmish towards Kanui, perhaps. Maybe not even skirmish, just move and attack her and lead.
Yeah. Well, with a move...
There's no pushing of any kind that can take place other than Ekrit, who only has 2 mana. So
correct.
And there's no long-range push. It's called Chasm, and it costs 3.
Yes.
What worries me from the Zakol player's end, though, is he still has full mana, but he hasn't used this flux yet.
Right, yeah. It is getting on turn 3, so, like, at some point, we kind of got to see that going on. Now, maybe in this case, we do see him use it here with... If he's got a Rampant Hatred, this would be a very good time to start rampaging on the map.
If he's got Unstoppable, you could move over to Ekrit, punch her, skirmish, punch her again.
Yes.
And that would push her into the dome, which would alleviate some of the pressure.
Looks like it's time to do the math. Everyone's favorite part of Skytear. Does this calculate out exactly as I think it will? Because if it does, I win, and if I've made a mistake, I might just lose the game.
Yeah, and that's worrying. I mean, also to bear in mind that Tactician, I mean, it's gonna take a while to come into play, but there's 0 points
Yes.
on the board for the red player right now.
Yes. Bonne has not won a single control point this entire game. So, let's see. Are we negotiating about Zakol here?
He's thinking of a move and a skirmish, it looks like.
Yep.
Or a fast.
Let's see.
Looks like it's going to be a move and a skirmish.
Okay.
Or he's just counting. He could just be counting.
He could. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it is always important to review your basic arithmetic.
I mean, when I'm in this position, I constantly count and recount and recount.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because I've...
There's a very good chance he does not have a 3 in his hand, and that makes things very awkward for him. So he might be moving, skirmishing, and then deciding whether he wants to lead from the deck or attack a minion.
Right. If you blow up a minion, then you can at least guarantee that you remove 1. But it is obviously that, risk of, well, if I lead from the deck, I might hit a 1, I might hit a 3, which could offset if the lead from Hokusai didn't pan out the way he wanted it to.
Now, the thing is, if you're moving next, he doesn't want to move next to Kanui. He's thinking of moving next to the Ekrit, going down the back instead. Because if you move next to Kanui, Kanui gets an attack on you, and then gets to skirmish into the dome, and then lead, and then win the Scourge. That free attack is pretty deadly.
Yeah.
Because Zakol is sitting on decent enough health, but Scourge can change that very quickly.
Yes. Cut that in half, couple flips against him, bang, 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 and you're dead. So.
Kanui hits for like a truck. She hits for 3.
She does, yeah.
It's not a truck, but it's pretty hard.
Yeah. Warriors are pretty good. All right, so we're going to move. So it's time for the skirmish action.
Skirmish. Are we?
Deal damage to Ekrit, potentially.
Because if you deal damage... No, Kanui.
Or can we? I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry, they look very similar on their models.
Yeah. So... Kanui could have moved if she got hit there, but she didn't.
Yep, so she's going to stay put. So now... Oh, I see cards coming. Show me Rampant! Come on, do it.
You wouldn't Rampant because you've skirmished. You've wasted a skirmish.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, good point. You would have done that beforehand. Well, we did something. Looks like an attack action, so that's going to drop Kenway down to...
Action.
Yep, drops Kenway down 4.
Gets hit. Does Kenway move before the push?
Ooh. Yeah, because if she doesn't move, Zakol's going to fling her backwards? I mean, she's still going to be within range 3.
There's no reason. It's like, both of them will have... It's just, which tile do you prefer?
Right.
Zakol's going to put you to potentially the other one.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean... It stops Zakol from being able to move over there and do a quick shot play, I guess.
Yes. Mark action?
Hokusai is sitting next... Hokusai, there's still the flux up. Hokusai could still quick
lead.
Shot.
Okay.
Right, and then he's going to lead from deck. So he's hoping to God he's hitting a 3 here.
Hope is no basis for planning. That is Commander's morsel of the day, everyone. Hope is no basis for planning.
We kind of have to play to your out. You have to play to your outs, right?
Yes, I think so.
By standing there, he makes it kind of awkward for Kanui. Kanui is going to have to move and skirmish to get to Sakoshi. So she doesn't get that free attack on Hokusai, as it were.
Right. We're going to contest the dome, and by contest the dome, I mean we're going to...
She's got fast.
Yeah.
Right, of course she's got fast.
We're just going to go and kill off Sakoshi, which means more Scourge blood. Now, why would you do that if you're going to take control of the... I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. You're going to have to move either way.
Yeah, I mean, the outsider can still skirmish to where the outsider currently is.
Right. Doesn't really make that big of a difference.
Right. So,
all right.
Kanui, I'm assuming, is going to do the attack here.
Yes. Unless... Wait a minute. Oh, we got a flex play. What is that? Is that...
We got a dodge.
Okay, we got a dodge. Time to, quite literally, get the dodge out of hell.
Sure. Now, this is pretty good because you're also dodging away from where the Scourge is going to spawn.
Yes, which will force him to burn an action to get close to you.
You see, this is why I like playing flip decks, because if I was playing a flip deck, I could have done a skirmish rather than an attack and been reasonably certain Scourge would be dead here. But this flux play, I mean, it's a very good, it's a fine flux play. So you have to decide now whether or not you want to, who you want to go for with this Scourge.
Right. All right, so we're going to resolve this. So again, zone number 2 for the 3rd round in a row, gonna be uncontested. So what do we got in control zone 1 here? Hokusai, show me 3s from somebody. Oh, no!
All one.
This reminds me of the suicides. Oh, God.
So, you know, if Kanui had decided that she was just going to be there, she could have done 4 more damage and killed that tower.
Oh, well.
Ah, well.
She made a decision. Because now, Kenwi gets to ascend to being a demonic swordman thingy person, and proceed to kill Sakoshi.
I'm pretty sure it's considered a fall from grace when you turn into a chemo.
Probably. I don't know. I don't read the lore. Sorry, Mr. Lore people. Someone PM me in the chat the lore. I'll read it at some point.
Alright.
Alright, so Scourge is on the field, which means it's time for more blood.
Absolutely, but whose blood will be shed? Will you go for Sakoshi, or will you just...
Oh, heck yeah, we're going for Sakoshi.
Alright.
Gun him down.
Does 1 damage.
Alright, so...
Now your Scourge is basically wasted.
Pretty much.
There's the attack, and there's the gun.
That is
a Akuti's ult as well.
Dead Sakoshi.
Would have really liked if Akuti was alive, but she isn't.
So, in that case...
Nelklin is the 4th hero.
Okay, so now we have our answer. Nelly is on the field.
And Nelly hurts.
Yes. Which, hey, what's better than a Hokusai Rampant Hatred game slayer? Meanwhile, Scourge is going to come up. Will the Scourge... Oh, yeah, that's the last thing. So Kenwi is going to appear... Oh, boy. So Nelklin is going to be on the battlefield.
Nelklin rather than next to her illusion.
So I think the plan here is we're just going to surround Nelklin and immediately dive bomb him. Nope, we're going to move into within range of the illusion. No, we're not. We're going to... Okay.
If you're in range of the illusion and then your opponent starts attacking you, you can move back into the dome.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. That's
oh, okay.
valid.
Unless he moved. I guess he's. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's acceptable.
Give Kanui some space to work with. Not much difference, but.
So yeah. So
it stops Nelklin from walking into the dome, right? Nelklin
correct.
Kind of stuck.
Yeah, Nelklin cannot make it into the dome unless he goes through Kenwi, which if there's a Rampant Hatred. And if you're playing Nelklin and you're not running Rampant Hatred, I have to question your deck structure.
Rampant Hatred at least already.
Yes.
But you wouldn't. He must have drawn it because he could have drawn it, but otherwise, I mean, you would not have led twice from the deck in that position.
Correct.
Right?
So
you had a 3 in hand.
Right.
Unless you was really willing to take that risk.
So, or he has Consulting the Heart, Nelklin's ultimate, which functionally speaking will mean
also a 3.
Yeah, which would mean again the same thing. So. Let's go. Rampant Hatred. Rampant Hatred. I want to see some blood here. Let's go. Run him down. Get Sakoshi's card out of here, man. Sakoshi's dead. He's gone. Forget about him. Put him to the consignment history.
Rampant Hatred. Do you even play it straight away, or do you go for, like, lowering Ekrit down and trying to go for this double kill?
That is a good question. Well, here's the thing. There is a pillar on the field. So if you kill off Kenwi, you can get within range of that pillar, and there it is. It's time for Rampant Hatred. +3 to the skirmishes, piercing damage. She is not in range of her illusion, which means there is absolutely no way she's going to block any of this.
So what do? You could chasm and push Kanui into the dome,
yes.
and then Nelklin can't hit her.
Well, so here's the thing then. Nelklin, because you would have to chasm before the skirmish action even resolves, then you just turn your focus fire against Ekrit and blow her up.
Right. You could push.
Nelklin cannot be put. Oh, the psychic shield comes down. Okay.
To protect Kanui, who is the lower health character. Yep.
Correct. Okay, so that makes sense. So the psychic shield will prevent the bonus damage from Rampant Hatred. I think, but it will not. Yeah.
You from the Rampant Hatred skirmish action.
But not the regular skirmish action.
but not the regular skirmish action. So you place this. Kanui is safe, but Ekrit is not.
Correct.
And then you just, if you were trying to go for the double kill anyway, then you're okay with this.
Yes. So in this situation, we blow the first attack from the Rampant Hatred on Ekrit, since we can no longer target Kenwi. But then you still have another +3 skirmish against Kenwi and an attack against Kenwi, so you're doing 6 + 2 flips. Reasonably likely that Kenwi still dies here. She's only got 8 HP left.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a real possibility.
Or, wait for it, with the deck turnover, I didn't see if he drew after he turned the deck over, but if he did, he may have Strength Over Pain.
We still haven't seen the Nalakan ult, have we?
Well, probably not, because if we would have seen Consulting the Heart, then we would have known that Nalakan was on the field, so maybe not?
The last two cards in the deck could have been Rampant Hatred, Nalakan ult.
That is very true. Okay, so let's... Oh, shoot, we've got... Okay.
There you go. You got something against it.
All right.
Good.
That's good. So now nobody's going to die. Unless more weird shenanigans come into play.
You have a charm.
It's true. Charm would be useful
within
here.
range of the pillar to be able to cast Clear Mind.
That is correct.
I have no idea why you'd have charm. But Nalakan is stuck.
+0. Oh, okay, that's...
So he can't get to that pillar just yet.
Correct.
To Clear Mind.
Okay, so we are going to damage Ekrit there for 2 damage. Brings her down to 12.
I almost wonder if the Psychic Shield was a waste after that migraine.
Well, let's think about it. 2 skirmishes would have done... Let's say you hit +2s on there, so that would be 3.5, 4, and 4. No, because Ekrit would have... Akuti would have been killable. Akuti, Jesus. Kenwi! Yes, Kenwi would have been killable, so you would need... Yeah, yes. You would need both to protect her. All right, so with that is the Rampant Hatred's bonus action, it looks like. Do you have a charm in hand? If you do, you can remove that and potentially try and knock off Kenwi. If you don't, you attack Kenwi and bring her very, very low, and then try to kill her with something else.
If you have Clear Mind, you can move next to the pillar, Clear Mind, and then do an attack in the skirmish, and that would be very good. So the fact that he hasn't done that leads me to think he probably doesn't have Clear Mind in hand.
Right.
Because removing that disarm now should be considered a very high priority.
Right. Looks like we're going near the deck. Are we just going to flip? Maybe not. Hard to say. Yep, we're going to just flip anyways. Oh, a -1. So that will...
half 1 damage.
Yep, so we do... So that does deal 2 damage, cut in half to 1. So therefore, Kenwi takes 1 additional damage.
Okay, yeah, no, that was actually really bad, because a 0 would have still been 2 damage there.
Right.
And the +1 would have also been 2 damage, so a -1 was really bad there.
Yep. And there is one of the frenzy, or the Strength Over Pains that we would see. So, do we have any additional...
Aggressive lineup, he's playing a lot of -1s and 0s.
Yes. Do we go for the attack on Kenwi, trying to just bring her down a little bit more? That looks like it. We're pointing towards her. We're going to attack her. And we have... Oh my goodness! All right, so that's going to be 3 minus 1 is 2. Again, cut in half because of the disarm. So that disarm actually negated quite a bit of damage there. Kenwi's only going to take 1 more damage.
I think the opposite.
You think?
It negated
oh, that's fair.
2 damage.
That's true. Actually, yeah, that's true. I forgot. No, his deck negated a lot of the damage.
His deck negated all the damage.
You're right. I should rephrase that upon further reflection.
To get rid of it.
Okay. So we're going to resummon the pillar there. That makes sense. Do you play Consulting the Heart? And no, we're just going to play another way. Oh, no, that was the same one. Okay. We're getting rid of the token?
He ends his turn.
Oh, okay. So you've got to have some kind of a reaction card. Otherwise, that was pointless.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very good chance he has either a slide or a sinkhole.
Yeah.
Right?
We have seen sinkholes, yes. So sinkhole is a most probable card.
We've seen slides. They are possibilities.
Yep. And looks like that's going to be all she wrote there. So,
also, even if you're not doing that, it's good to just, make your opponent think you might have that, and you're also placing a pillar close for Zakol.
True. That is very true. Also, another point of interest, there are now 5 tokens on Tactician. So we're at game point on Tactician, which disappoints me because in a game with 2 Scourges, I wanted to see either total annihilation or double kill. And we have not seen either of those. Tactician may be the call here because, I mean, it wins you the game.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, the red-green deck has not proved very effective here at doing its job of killing people.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of poor modifiers, and he's been drawing them at bad times.
Yes.
And he's not been going for that Scourge either. He specifically was not going for that Scourge.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if he moves Ekrit into one dome, Habarat into another dome, he's winning, right? Like.
All right, we do see this.
Kill all these minions and defend both domes.
Well, we see swiftness coming down, so Habarat is entering the battlefield here. Looks like he's going to worship potentially to summon the illusion, maybe not. Does Habarat have his ultimate in hand? Because if so...
We saw that ultimate gone for a long time. It has now been hit, but we've seen it gone for a long time.
And the deck has been flipped.
Alright, so he hit Hokusai, hit him for 4.
Alright.
For 3 in total.
Yep.
Should I say.
Alright, Hokusai down to 10.
And he's going to lead from the deck with that. He's not entering the dome.
Okay, interesting. Looks like we're just going all in. So I think that Fush realizes, you know what? I don't need the Scourges anymore. I've got 5 Tactician tokens. All I have to do is win the lane, and I win the game. And
although I have to wonder, maybe it would have been smarter to move to activate Ekrit first, so she could have her Kanui first, so she could use her illusion. Because Kanui still has a chance of dying somehow. No, not really. I mean, she's protected actually. She's really protected.
Yeah.
I mean, that Scourge there.
Zakol can't
get in there.
Nope.
Hokusai can't get in there.
Nope.
If Nelkun had moved backwards as part of his rampant hatred, which he definitely could have done,
yes,
then Hokusai could have moved in there.
Correct. And we saw Supernova flipped once, but I don't think he would have drawn it again from the reshuffle. Oh no! All right, well that's 0 damage to both of them. I'm not really sure what the value of marking. Oh no, that was Kenway. I'm sorry. Yeah, there is value in marking Kenway. All right, so we're going to.
There is value in marking Kenway. I think she's kind of just unkillable right now.
I mean,
you didn't move the Nelklin, so I think she's kind of just unkillable.
So, yeah, because I think we've seen almost all the frenzies. Because what I was thinking was,
Hokusai attacked that minion because the other minion could have been worshipped by Zakol.
So I think the reason is if you move Zakol in, he's going to punch Ekrit out of the way and then skirmish and potentially frenzy against Kenway. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, I mean, that would have been a play, but he flipped a -1 on the mark. So now I think you just changed tactics, right?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of coming down to that like strangulation effect here, kind of thing. Of Fush is just slowly tightening the noose here, and so you need Bonne needs to figure out what. All right, rampant hatred, yeah, let's go. All right, so we're gonna ramp.
It really sucks that you didn't mark Ekrit for this.
Yes. Okay, there's Supernova.
So a lot of damage to Ekrit. If she had been marked before, that would have been an extra 1 damage.
Yep. So she's down to 6.
I am surprised you didn't go for a kill against her with here.
Yes.
But it is worth noting. If it wasn't for that migraine, there was a reasonable chance that Nelkun would have got that double kill.
Correct. All right. The next flip. Oh, and there's Nelklin's consulting the heart.
Ekrit's on 1. If you had marked Ekrit
she would have been dead.
Instead, Hokusai has nothing he can do. He's got to end his turn.
Shield slam him. Shield slam him. Show us the shield slam.
Shield slam. No, he doesn't run shield slam. We haven't seen a shield slam.
That's a good point.
Which is weird. I don't know why he wouldn't run shield slam.
Yeah, when you've got Hokusai, why don't you do shield slam, man? Come on. All right. Oh, that is a.
Running to Dome 2 now.
That is a feels bad man.
Yeah, this is what order of operations matter here.
Yes.
If he had attacked last, Ekrit could be dead right now.
Correct. And now, instead, she's just going to swiftness and teleport into the dome. Because even if by some miracle Fush doesn't win lane 1, you just win lane 2 uncontested. And it's game over.
Yeah, I mean, Zakol can't stop Ekrit from doing that and also leading in the center to keep the center alive.
Correct. Because again...
And he's, yeah.
Well, because here's the thing. You don't even need to worry about, like, crushing down the tower here. You're just concerned with winning. So we're going to move. We're going to kill Ekrit.
You're gonna against Ekrit, you're gonna kill her.
There's the third ultimate. Okay, so she's dead.
Only those +3s were earlier, but now they're here.
So, but that's both of his move actions. So, unless he can slide his way back out or something, or sinkhole...
Can't slide yourself.
Oh, great. Okay, now what he can do, if he pops a sinkhole on the cover hex there, he can force Well, no, you wouldn't force Hobrat in, because you would push Hobrat back, pushing him out of the range, and then move yourself in.
Like quick shots.
Okay. But Kenry's in Dome 3.
Like quick shots. Kenry then moves into Dome 3, and now what do?
You call game over by Tactician. That's what you do. Because there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop Kenwy. Nellicling cannot grab her out of the dome with a double sinkhole. That's not a thing that can happen. So yeah, good game to Fush. Well done, and welcome to the World Championships. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Fush. Some plays that I thought potentially were questionable, but he ends up winning it with a chokeout of Tactician.
Indeed.
Does something relevant, especially when so few captures were being done so early on. The Scourge in lane 2 was just never really a thing.
Right.
So it was only Dome 3 that was ever in play.
Correct.
And there was a surprising lack of blood.
It was. I was very disappointed for two heroes or for two Scourges. Not nearly enough violence. I am very disappointed.
It's very weird to see, but the deck that seems to not be very aggressive
turned out to be the aggressive one.
Did more damage in general.
Yes.
Than the aggressive deck.
Yeah.
It was only at the end there with the double rampant hatreds that we saw something. That we saw some serious damage coming through, but by then it was too little, too late.
Correct. All right. Oh, all right. Well, Ricardo has bailed on us, which means I guess it's my turn to show you something. So you've all been waiting for it. I've been wanting to show it. Let's see if I can do this properly. Drum roll, please. We're going to share. Let's see. It says that it is sharing my screen. So, okay, you're fine. We're going to wait just a second.
You better not be slowing this down intentionally so you can listen to me do it.
Honestly, I'm not. All right. Well, apparently it's not showing again. Unfortunate. That's so frustrating. Okay. I really thought this would work, guys. I'm sorry. So let's talk about the new card. So the new card is called. Go for it.
Can someone stick it in the card spoilers chat, please?
Yes. If someone can, that would be wonderful. For someone... Okay, now I'm just getting a Norton Security Suite download. What the heck is that? I don't even know what that's about. We're gonna exit out of that before anything weird shows up, because I don't know where we're going with that. So, I'm sorry, everyone. Let's talk about the new card called Soul Swap. So this particular... I'm sorry, Soul Transfer. Soul Swap is the old card. So Soul Transfer is a yellow card. It is 2 mana plus 0 modifier. It is a reaction speed card that says, swap the caster's HP with target friendly hero's HP. So,
importantly to note, this is not a heal effect, and it is not a loss effect. So, this doesn't work with the frail Shalabi deck that's making the rounds lately. But also, this cannot be doomed. This is very reliable.
Yes.
Healing.
We spoke with Giacomo earlier, and GameSlayer and I both had questions about it, and he did confirm this cannot be doomed because it is not technically classified as a healing effect, which means you cannot stop it with the likes of Doom or Burning Scar or anything Disrupt or whatever that would normally prevent healing effects. But by the same token, Corito and Pythoner, I hope you're paying attention to this. It does not count as HP loss, which means it's not going to proc Kenwi's dodge ability. It's not going to proc Revenges from the Suicide Squad or the Blue Deck. So it goes both directions.
And it's worth bearing in mind that Nupton are getting their first tank hero in the next expansion as well.
Indeed,
Who is going to be tanky, and who will probably have a lot of hit points enough to actually make this thing worthwhile.
Oh, absolutely.
Worth noting, especially for yellow-red, all of the mages are apart from Nelicon, all of the mages are in yellow-red.
Yes.
So they have not had a good deck card to actually keep them alive. They have no armor. They can't gain armor from green. They can't get nourishing from blue. They've had basically nothing until now.
Yep. And now with this, they essentially get what they were missing.
How about you just post it in the general chat?
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to sort through the file to see where exactly
You're the
I
one
saved
who's
it.
got the file, not me.
I know.
So, now there are some things to bear in mind. At a +0, you know I'm usually not a fan of this kind of card at +0. However, I think this might end up being a staple in a lot of Nupton decks that don't play blue.
Yes.
That don't play a lot of blue, I should say. I think this could be a staple in a lot of Nupton decks, just to keep their mages alive for as long as possible. If you have multiple of these, you are going to be able to bounce your health around like crazy and make sure that your characters aren't dying. This could be a heal for like 16 on one guy, but another guy's going to take like 16 damage.
Correct. But
now,
thinking about that,
someone like Yami, who for some weird reason, my Yami like never gets attacked. And so Yami will be able to use her excess health. Kichi could actually take some damage and then actually heal.
Yep.
Like he could swap his health with someone else and then heal from his own ability. Yes, the Outsider is no longer a friendly hero, Clinton.
That is correct.
No
there is
longer a friendly
absolutely, don't even think about it. We are not going there. And as you notice, it says the caster is the one that swaps, which means no weird shenanigans of trying to play it during the Outsider activation. That would be terrible.
You can have someone redirect this to a different friendly hero.
It's true.
Which could be really, really bad, but probably not going to be a problem.
One of the things... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the interesting things that you could potentially set this up with is Miyuki's ultimate. So if you kind of soul swap onto a hero that is already low, that is potentially going to be the target of an attack, a hero that is high that is about to be attacked, if you can soul swap and use Miyuki's target on them, it would be a net of 5 mana play, but you might make it so that the attack actually kills the hero, and then because Miyuki's ultimate triggers also on that hero, bring them back to full.
You say that, but you're also then putting one of your own heroes on really low health.
So what I mean is, so let's say that I have Miyuki up front for whatever reason, and then I have a weakened hero in the back line outside of the range of the current hero. I soul swap such that Miyuki... let's change this around so that Miyuki doesn't have to blow all of her mana. So Miyuki's healthy in the back, or Miyuki is weakened in the back, and the guy up front, Shadrius, our new tank, is up front taking the attack. Soul swap with Shadrius so that he now has low HP, Miyuki has full HP, and then use Miyuki's caged soul on him such that when he dies to the attack, he's then brought up to full. So both heroes are then high on HP.
I mean, that is definitely a possibility. Now, I think that's probably way too jank of a combo.
I do too, but I'm just saying it could happen.
Would ever run that.
Yes, I'm just saying it can happen, man. The possibilities are there.
I've played Miyuki a good handful of times, and I've never had her ult work.
Yeah, neither have I.
It's so strong, but it just doesn't... It never happens, which is unfortunate. I never draw it. Anyway, so one thing bearing in mind as well with Nupton, with Soul Transfer, is that Nupton already play what I would consider a pretty weak card as a core, which is Time Walk.
Yep.
Which is a 2-mana -1 of move 1 hex.
Yes.
Now, that card a lot of people play because they need the defense.
Yes.
Soul Transfer could replace this as the new Nupton core card. Because it is now a +0 instead of a -1, it's got reliable healing. You don't get to do the dome shenanigans. But you necessarily need to do the dome shenanigans. Is that worth running a +0 instead of -1?
That's the question that our Nupton players will have to answer. So, Michael, you're on deck.
You can also run both, right? There's no need to run one or the other. You can also run both.
That's true. Where's my Por qué no los dos gif?
Nupton are getting very defensive, even in their yellow-red, which I really like to see.
Yeah.
Because Shafathi, he's got a great health pool. He's a great target for being soul-transferred. Or soul-transferring. But we just don't ever see him, because why would you play him when all of the good Nupton cards are actually the Leviathan cards?
Right. Well, now that we're slowly introducing these new cards, that may not be the case too much longer. We're seeing all sorts of weird and wild effects that are coming in that might make you slide more towards the red-yellows, and who knows, maybe even Cytherea will come back.
Maybe. Soul transfer at range, baby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. You could do that through his token illusion and then soul swap all the way across the map.
Yeah, that's always a possibility. Just have a relay of healing. Soul transfer, soul transfer, soul transfer.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. You could stack the effect and then just teleport the HP down the line. That would be speaking of janky combos.
I usually am a massive hater of +0s and -1s, but I think this could definitely see a placement effect. This isn't a mindfulness. This is actually a good card.
Yes. Yeah, I want mindfulness to be good, but it's not.
It needed to be a +1.
Yeah.
It needed to be a +1.
Oh, well. All right, well, I think that's going to about do it for us. So congratulations again, Fush, on joining the growing list of members to the World Qualifying Championship. Ricardo, again, thank you for streaming. Viewers, you'll notice that this was significantly better than what we did on Sunday. We have upgraded our system and tried some new things, so we are no longer bouncing it through the phone, through Discord, into YouTube, and I think that definitely did improve the stream quality a little bit, so we are looking to continue and improve that. The next live event that we're going to be doing, I believe, is going to take place not this coming Sunday, but the next one, so in about 10 days. We are going to be live from Genova, Italy, I believe is how it's pronounced, and we're going to hopefully run it back and do the same thing. We'll bring a number of games online to you live from Genova, and we have plenty of comments and jokes ready for you then. So, for myself, for the Skytear people at PvP, and for GameSlayer, thank you very much. I am the Commander. We're signing off for now. We'll see you in the next mission.
Good night, folks.